Hi there and good morning. Welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona. Today's class is a 60-minute Vinyasa flow class designed specifically for your morning. It's a flow that starts slowly and gradually builds in intensity, and it concludes with a series of backbends and an optional inversion. So you feel very refreshed, energized and awake, ready for your day. I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for joining. Namaste. And begin your practice by coming into your comfortable seat and taking the next few minutes to sit quietly, to make contact with your breath and create a clear pathway for your mind and your body to settle before you begin to move and step into your day. Softly closing down your eyes, letting your expression soften, lifting tall through your spine. And scan your body here from your head all the way down to the edge of your toes, letting go of any unnecessary restraint or effort. And tuning into the feeling tone of your breath, the feeling of your breath breathing you, and appreciating the stillness of the morning, your mind quiet and impressionable, offering you the opportunity to really set the scene for your day ahead. Opportunity to stay open and receptive to all that unfolds, and to welcome all your connections today and interactions with positivity and an open heart. Begin now to deepen your breath, taking a long, slow, deep breath in and an equal and even, complete breath out. And take 5 more deep breaths. And one more full cycle of breath. And if you're upright here, just dropping your head toward your heart, eyes to the back of the eyelids. And gently blink the eyes open and go ahead, make your way onto your back here, middle of the mat. And we'll set up for thread the needle pose, a hip groin stretch. So just beginning by letting your back body melt down into the support beneath you, knees bent, feet to the floor. And then taking your right ankle, top of the left knee, flexing at the right toes. You can either stay here or draw the left thigh back toward you and thread your hands, interlace behind the back of your left hamstrings. And just letting your arm bones draw back in space. And continue to breathe a nice, sweet, deep Ujjayi breath. Just a comfortable external rotation to your inner right thigh so you're not feeling pushy as you start your day. And now just switching sides, Settle in for a few moments, left ankle, top of the right knee. Trying to maintain that spacious feeling throughout your body by using a deeper breath. Gently release, go ahead, hug both knees in toward your chest. Press your low back spine in toward the mat. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And make your way into happy baby, catching a hold. Outer edges of your feet, pointing the soles of your feet toward the ceiling. And very gently drawing your knees down toward your armpits. So your shins are perpendicular with the floor here, and really just using this pose as a way to extend long through the length of your spine all the way to the back of your skull. And softly release. Taking your feet to the floor now, knees bent and feet about hip width apart there. Go ahead, interlace your fingers behind the back of your head. Resting your head back into the hammock of your hands, just a little bit of light core work to start us off. With your feet staying on the floor, just gently peel up on your exhale, drawing your navel back toward your spine. Hover here, head and shoulders lifting. And then as you breathe in, slowly lower back toward the floor. We'll do that a few more times, just practicing using your breath efficiently. As you lift up, you're drawing your front ribs and abdominals in. And keeping your eyes up, the inner elbows nice and wide. And you can feel yourself flattening out through the low back spine as you lift up. Just one more here. And resting back, taking eagle legs now, wrapping your right leg over the top of your left leg. You can hook your right foot around the back of your left calf or just simply cross your legs. Raise the feet so your legs are at a 90-degree angle. And then just slowly peeling up, lifting your shoulders, your head from the floor. And there's a light lift to your tailbone and your sit bones. And then just slowly lean back, keeping your head and shoulders hovering. Lifting up on your exhale, hugging the legs together here so you've got something to hold on to. Navel drawing back toward your spine as you breathe out and squeeze in. So we're just waking up your abdominal core and your postural muscles so they can help support you all the way through your day here. And keeping your shoulders, your head hovering, just switch the cross of your legs now. Left leg over the top of the right leg. On an exhale, you're lifting up, maybe a light hop to the tailbone. You're just opening and contracting with your breath. And just two more here, nearly there. And release. Rest back. Feet to the floor. And we'll just roll over to our right side from here and make our way into tabletop for cat-cow. Setting yourself up, spreading all 10 fingers, all 10 toes, knees underneath the hips, hands under the shoulders. And then just slowly, slowly start to round and arch your spine, following the rhythm of your breath. And of course you can keep the movement quite linear here or circle the hips, barrel roll the spine. Just sensing what feels right and feels intuitive in your body. Breathing deeply. And then from here, transitioning into downward dog, walking your hands forward, shoulder width apart there, tucking your toes and floating the hips up and back. Keep a little bend in your knees there as you extend long through your spine. Gently pedaling out through your heels. And allowing your head to drop heavy between your arms. Anchoring down through your hands. Make sure you've got a fairly long stride here. We'll go through a few half flows from downward dog. Ripple yourself forward to a high push-up. Just pause, push the floor away. Widen the collarbones, broaden your back. And then just soften your knees, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Try small with your breath. Floating forward, abs and front of the thighs engaged there. And then just a soft bend in the knees as you ripple back, downward facing dog. And letting your breath guide you. And then when you arrive back, downward dog, a bend in the knees, looking forward between your thumbs, and go ahead, walk all the way to the top edge of your mat. And when you arrive, take a halfway lift, slide your hands all the way up to your shins, extend long through your spine, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, coming through chair pose, reach the arms alongside your ears, sitting low. And then push through your feet and press all the way to stand. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Deep breath in here, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, breathe in, look forward, open your throat. And as you exhale, fingertips down, lunge your right leg back, runner's lunge here. Just pause. Couple of breaths, nice long stride between the feet, bringing your heart forward, hugging your belly in and up. And then plant the hands here, step back, plank pose, top of your push-up. And we'll take a vinyasa, just drop the knees, first one here, chest and chin, come all the way down to the earth. And gentle arch through the spine, very little pressure in the hands there, coming in Bhujangasana. Nice firm belly roll on the knees, downward facing dog. Long and straight through the arms. Weight drawing down through all the knuckles of your fingers, so you can lean your body weight back. Rest heavy in the heels. Breathe in deeply, look forward, and at the end of your exhale, step or lightly hop to the top edge of your mat. Toes can come together here, take a halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. And coming through chair, bend the knees, reach the arms. And press to stand, hands to the heart center. Arms overhead, breathe in. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips down, left foot lunging back. Find your runner's lunge. We're just gently opening up the hip flexors, the front of the thighs. Breathing deeply, improving your posture across your collarbones. And then plant the hands, step back through a Vinyasa, high push up here. Knees, chest and chin to the floor. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Feeding your chest forward through the window of your arms. And then a slow transition back, downward facing dog. Long, deep breath in and out through the nose. Next breath in, gaze forward. Bend the knees and travel to the top edge of your mat. Bring the toes together. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold on your out breath. Bend the knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. And press to stand. Hands to your heart center, Tadasana. So we're going to slowly build some intensity as the body starts to awaken. 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar A now. Deep breath in, arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Dive forward over the legs, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breathe in, look forward. Hands down, step back, plank pose. Deep breath in. And exhale to the floor. Back bend, legs strong, toes reaching back. And downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. And feeling the front of your thighs pressing back. Bend the knees, gaze forward. End of your exhale, step or lightly hop top edge of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. And a forward fold. Rise to stand, arms overhead, stand really tall. Hands to your heart center. Second round, arms float overhead, gaze up, tip of the thumbs. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands down, step back, plank pose. On your out breath, lowering slow to the floor. Cobra pose as you breathe in. Downward facing dog. Breathing out. Just maintaining the full, complete breath. In and out through the nose. And stepping your toes together at the back of your mat. Raise your right leg up and back as you breathe in, leveling out through the hips. As you breathe out, step your right foot forward. We'll set up for low lunge. Softly take the left knee to the floor. Hook your thumbs here as you reach the arms up overhead. Lifting up through the back ribs so there's a broadening, a brightening in your upper back. Spreading out through all your fingers. Lightly engaging through your left buttocks. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor, just stepping back quietly, downward facing dog. Toes together. Left side now, left leg rising, breathe in. Left foot forward, low lunge. Right knee softly down. Hook the thumbs there, space your fingers, take a big arch up. Getting that same feeling you have in your back body through the front of the body, lifting your heart, drawing your front ribs in so your abdominals Upper abdominals are engaged. Reach up a little taller. Exhale, hands to the floor. Vinyasa now, stepping back. High push-up. Low push-up. Upward dog or cobra here. Just stay with a back bend that feels comfortable in your body as it starts to wake up. And we'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Step the toes together here, right leg rising as you breathe in. Breathing out, stepping forward to a high lunge now. So feet spaced, hip distance apart. Just really slowly come up. You can keep a little bend in your left knee as you rise up. And just feeling for that same muscular action in your back. Feeling your heart lift. Deep breath in. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Setting up for the second side, your left leg rising now, breathe in. Left foot forward to your high lunge. Arms rise when you're steady. Taking your breath all the way down to the pelvic bowl now, so your breath feels really long and deep. Hands to the floor, a vinyasa, stepping back quietly, high to low push-up, upward dog or cobra, and reset, downward facing dog. So we're going to use our high lunge through our Surya Namaskar B now, just one round. And take a smooth breath in, looking forward, top edge of the mat, end of your exhale, travel there, bring the toes to touch. Halfway lift, breathe in, and forward fold. Coming through chair pose, bend the knees, motion the hips back, reach the arms, and press all the way to stand, standing tall, Tadasana. Here we go, chair pose, bend the knees, one breath, reach the arms, and forward fold, Uttanasana, Ardha Uttanasana, Vinyasa, high push-up, stepping back quietly, moving slow with your breath, low push-up, upward dog or cobra, take full breaths, downward facing dog. Right leg rising, breathe in. Right foot forward, high lunge. Find your steadiness, your ease, arms rise, one breath. Hands to the floor, stepping back, plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Left leg rising, breathe in. Left foot forward, high lunge, spacing the feet there so you feel steady. Arms rise. And hands to the floor, vinyasa. Savoring each breath as you move, moving quietly on your mat. You're returning to downward facing dog. Filling your whole shape with your breath. And taking two more full, complete breaths. End of your exhale, looking forward and moving forward, top edge of the mat. Toes step together. Halfway lift and fold in. Bend the knees, weight in your heels here, chair pose. And press all the way to stand, hands to the heart center. And shifting your hands to your hips now, Separating your feet about hip distance apart, go ahead, step your left foot back into a high lunge. So find that long stride, perhaps a little bend in your left knee, front of the hip points lifting up. Reach the arms nice and slow. Feel your upper body extending, your lower body steady. And we're just going to pivot, coming into temple pose here and taking eagle arms. So your heels turn in, toes out. Right arm on top and left arm under for eagle arms. Drawing your forearms forward, sinking low in the hips and pointing your knees toward your toes to get that light stretch through the groins, inner thighs. Folding forward here if you're feeling steady and it's in your range of motion. Gently rounding, spreading the architecture of your upper back. And slowly rise all the way up. Warrior two, to your right. Right foot forward, left toes turn in. Lengthening your stride here. And just equalizing the effort through your legs so you don't feel like all the effort is in your front thigh. Gaze softly out over your right middle finger. Breathing deep. One more full breath in. Exhale, windmill your hands to the floor. Moving into plank pose, pause there. Feet about hip width apart here in your plank pose, and we'll transition into side arm balance. On your right side, right hand's your foundation, heels spin to your right. You can keep 2 feet on the floor or stack your feet. Extending your tailbone down toward your heels, left arm reaches for the sky. Right side waist lifting, supporting you. Left arm overhead, reach toward the front of your room. Eyes down, hands down, and take a vinyasa. Moving through chaturanga. Slow breath in your back bend. Deep breath out as you roll back, downward facing dog. Nice long out breath, perhaps an open mouth out breath just to reset, clear the lungs. And hopefully you're feeling a little warmer now, a little bit more open. We're going to take a deep breath in. From here we are going to hop into Malasana, Yogi squat. So just lifting the hips and hopping the feet forward. Feet quite wide here, turn your toes down. And either sit down halfway if it doesn't suit your knees, or come to sit on the back of your calves. And as you press your hands to your heart center, see if you can widen, broaden, become more proud across your chest. Let the tailbone sink down, crown of the head float up. And feel free to stay here, or if you'd like to move into Kakasana, crow pose, taking the hands forward, perhaps stepping the toes together here. And keeping the eyes forward, chaturanga arms, floating the feet, rounding the spine, hollowing your belly. And either hop back or step back through a vinyasa. We'll all meet back. Downward facing dog. And from here we'll move straight over to the other side. Nice steep bend in the knees, looking forward. Take that light hop or step lightly, top edge of the mat, toes to touch. Halfway lift, breathe in. And a forward fold, breathe out. Coming through chair pose, bend the knees, reach your arms. Press down through your feet, press to stand. Hands to your heart center, just take a moment. And shifting your hands to your hips there, separating the feet. Now step your right foot back into a high lunge. So you've got quite a long stride here. The weight's in your front heel. And so you stay a little bit buoyant through the pelvis. Arms reach up. Gaze is steady and try and keep your jaw nice and soft. Breathe deep. In temple pose now. Heels spin in, toes turn out. Nice deep bend in the knees. Eagle arms, left arm on top now, right arm under. You can catch your shoulders here if the bind doesn't work for your arms. Just making the shape work for your body, just doing you. Forward fold here when you're ready. Rounding the spine, mobilizing that space between the shoulder blades, inner thighs. Slowly rising all the way upright. Warrior two to your left now. Lengthen your stride. Anchoring your feet, pinky toe side of the right foot firmly down, so there's a little cave in the arch of your right foot. One more full cycle of breath. On your out breath, hands wimble to the floor, stepping back quietly, plank pose. Moving into side plank on your left side now. Balance your left hand right underneath your shoulder. Spin the heels to the left, flexing at the toes so your legs stay engaged there. Right arm up toward the ceiling. Left side oblique muscles working here for you. Press the feet, your hand into the floor so you make space underneath your body. Send your right arm overhead, reach out. And hands to the floor. Either take a vinyasa here or move quietly back. Downward facing dog will meet you back there. Taking a few moments to check in with your body here. We've got a little bit more warmth in the body. You might be able to take a longer stride. And see if you can broaden the space through the upper back, externally rotating your upper arms. And then countering that with a inward rotation through the forearms so you feel the press of your index and thumb knuckles. And really relax your face. We'll take one more full cycle of breath. And go ahead, step your toes together, back of the mat. Raise your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Breathing out, coming into a high lunge. Right foot over in the right lane. Rise up. And from here we'll transition into full eagle pose. Just let your arms float out to shoulder height. And you're going to step and wrap the left leg over the top of the right leg, making a shelf with your right leg. So left toes could tap just to the outside of your right foot, or you can hook your foot all the way around. Up to you. Right arm on top, left arm under. And this is a tricky balance. So just stay patient. Hug the legs together just as we did right at the start of the class. So you've got something to hold on to there. Forward fold if you're feeling steady. So you're going to really hollow your belly here, round the spine, and taking your elbows toward your knees. And then very slowly coming all the way up, unwinding, left foot steps back into high lunge. Reach the arms. Not here for long. And then from here we'll come into a twist. So just hinge forward, taking your left hand down, right arm either to the small of your back as you start to revolve open, or find a vertical line with your arms intersecting at the heart. Right hand reaches up toward the sky. So lifting up through the back thigh, staying level through the pelvis. And one more deep breath in. As you exhale, just drop your left knee down toward the floor and reach back with your right hand to catch your left foot. If it doesn't quite work out, or your left foot's gone, just stay in your twist here in a low lunge. If you can catch a hold, then just drawing your heel in toward your buttocks. Just moving in your own range of motion. Gently release both hands to the inside of your right foot now. And now keep your right hand down and hug your upper right arm to your inner right knee and take the left hand to the sky. So we revolve in the opposite direction. Just notice how you feel on this side. It's trying to take the spine through all its range of motion, especially in the morning. So you can stand a little taller, breathe a little deeper. One more deep breath in. And exhale, hands to the floor. Reframe your front foot, stepping back through a Vinyasa, or do less and make your way back into downward facing dog. Reconnect with your breath. One more side here and then we'll just slow it down. Stay with me, you've got this. Toes together, back of the mat, left leg rising, breathe in. High lunge, left foot forward. Rise up on your in-breath. Just making sure that left foot's pointing forward 12 o'clock. As we transition into eagle, arms float down, so you've got this nice wide center of gravity. And then crossing the right leg over the top of the left leg. So you sink the hips down, left arm on top now, right arm under, eagle arms. Hugging everything to the midline of your body, squeeze everything together, keep your face soft. Forward fold here if you have your balance. Rounding the spine. Keep breathing, coming all the way up on your inhale. If you've got your balance, unwind, step the right foot back into your high lunge. To transition, reach the arms. And then just very lightly tip forward to set up for runner's lunge twist. Your right hand down now, either left hand to the small of your back, or take the left hand straight up toward your ceiling. Shoulders stack, collarbones smiling open. Right thigh strongly engaged without tensing there, your right heel reaching back. And now dropping your right knee to the floor. And if you have the mobility, you can reach your left hand back now to catch your right foot. And just ignore that if it doesn't feel right in your body. You're still getting a nice deep quad stretch there as you stay in your twist. hands to the floor here. Take them to the inside of your left foot. And here we keep the left hand down, right hand to the sky. So just keeping contact with your left upper arm and your knee there. So you've got a little bit of resistance there to turn and open through your chest. And one more deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take a Vinyasa or take rest. Stepping back and lowering slow. Just prioritizing your breath. So it feels very full, very deep. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Calm the rhythm of your breath. And then from here, you can either hop your knees or just step your knees forward so you come to kneel, middle of the mat, to set up for Camel Ustrasana. So knees about hip width apart there, and then just go ahead when you arrive, lift your hips above your knees. And then tuck your toes under behind you, so your heels lift, and just try and draw the heels toward one another so they stay parallel there. Hands to the small of your back. Try and point your fingertips up toward your shoulder blades. Now send your hips forward as you lift your ribs up out of your hips. And there's no need to really take your hands back to your feet if they're a long way off. You're just trying to lift through your heart and get a nice, even, uniform arch through your spine here as you tip back. Your heart lifts and keeping your lower back nice and tall. And here, if you do have a nice flexible back, you can reach back to hold onto your heels. And even your head can rest back there, opening through your throat in full camel. Big breath in, let your ribs flare. And if you do have your head back, chin toward your chest, support your low back with your hands and come all the way down to kneel and rest. Just rest your hands into your lap. You can close your eyes here. Just feeling the energy and warmth of your practice. Energizing side effect of the back bend. And we'll do one more like that. So feel free to modify. Never feel like it's important that you take your hands to your heels. You can certainly do this in that modified fashion. So just lifting your hips up. Really important here not to lean back. So what you want to do is just keep lifting the front of your hip points up, lifting your heart. And so no one part of your back feels abrupt. And just finding a back bend that suits your body here. Breathe deeply in. And exhale, release in your own way. Come back to kneel. Rest your palms. Close your eyes. And settle the rhythm of your breath. And when you're ready, we're moving onto our backs now. One more option for a back bend. If you feel like you've done enough for your back today, just please take the feet to the floor, to the side edges of your mat, and just knock the knees in toward each other. Otherwise, we'll move through one bridge and one wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Starting with bridge, arms alongside your body, heels close to your sit bones, feet at least hip width apart there. And just slowly lifting up your heart, traveling back toward your chin, buttocks lifting, and there's a light squeeze to the base of your glutes with the isometric movement of trying to drag your heels back toward your shoulder blades there. So you're feeling quite engaged through your back body, trying to avoid feeling tense. Your breath is your best guide here. Just keeping that nice, smooth, even tone to your breath. Full breath in. And exhale, release. Let's take a moment, deep breath in and out. And if wheel is in your repertoire, feel free to move into that or come back to bridge. So if you are coming into wheel, just being aware that your feet are likely to turn out here, and the best position for them is actually to be the opposite, a little bit pigeon-toed. So feel free to take your feet a little wider and deliberately turn the big toes in. And take the arms up toward the ceiling. If you're moving into wheel, elbows bend, hands down by your ears. And then press up onto your head first, keeping your elbows pointing straight back. And then press into the hands, the feet to lift up into a wheel. I like to come up onto my tippy toes here. Just gives me a little bit more space. And with your feet just pointing forward or slightly pigeon-toed, your inner thighs inwardly rotate, and that allows space and freedom in your low back spine. Breathe deeply in. And as you exhale, if you're coming out of wheel, chin toward your chest, come back down nice and slowly onto the shoulders, and release kindly through your body all the way down to your low back spine. And just take a moment with your feet on the floor to relax, release, let go through the low back. And then take the knees in toward your chest, and do that in parts. So not your deepest press, just slowly bring the knees a little closer in. And let the back of your body breathe. Maybe take a little rock side to side. Just decompress through the low back. So two options here. If you have inversions in your practice, there's time for a headstand or shoulder stand flow. If you prefer not to go upside down today, or you're supporting a shoulder or neck injury, please feel free to just take your feet back down to the floor, to the width of your mat, and take a simple twist here, windshield wiping the knees over to the left, taking your arms out wide to the side, turning your gaze to the right. You're going to have quite a few breaths here. Allow yourself to really relax into it. And if you are going into an inversion, support yourself. If you're coming into shoulder stand, you like that variation with the blanket underneath your shoulders. I prefer to come into a headstand. And so you're just setting up a stable base of support and moving upside down. So this isn't a headstand or shoulder stand tutorial. I'm not going to talk through all the cues, but if you are familiar with it, or you'd like to even move to a wall space to practice, you can. And then once you are upside down, just very subtle movements. You're pressing and putting a little bit more energy, downward energy, into what you have in contact with the mat. So you have a lightness, a buoyancy, and upward energy through the rest of your body. So in shoulder stand, you're pressing down through the back of your shoulders. Perhaps your hands are walking a little closer down toward your shoulder blades. And if you're in headstand, that tripod you've made with your head and your forearms presses a little deeper. Legs feel engaged. And those of you in a twist, just moving over to the other side. And for those of you who are upside down, you're very gently making your way down in a headstand, nice strong core, tucking the knees in and landing feather light onto the floor. Shoulder standers, moving your way back through plow pose. And once you're down, if you've come from a headstand, just resting in child's pose, letting go of all your effort through your upper body. And for those of you in plow pose, you're unwinding slowly. Bend the knees in toward your face as you roll down. Make your way into fish pose, Malasana, hands underneath the buttocks. Legs strong and extended, arching through the spine. And resting on the very crown of your head to open your throat, open your jaw. And wherever you're at, one more deep breath in and out. And we will all meet up on our backs, knees resting in toward your chest. Little rock side to side. And we'll make a return to our hip groin stretch just to check in and notice how you feel here at the end of your practice. Start with the right foot, cross the ankle over the top of your left knee, draw the left thigh back toward you. And let your head and your shoulders rest back. And just monitoring your effort levels so they feel on the relaxed side of the spectrum now here. And switching sides, left hip now. And you don't have to be fully stationary here. You can maybe just rock a little in your hip, ease off, and then deepen into that outer hip stretch. Deepen your buttocks muscles, outer hip. And gently release. And just rolling over to your right side from here, dragging yourself all the way up. We'll finish with a forward fold and Shavasana or seated meditation. You might like to grab an extra layer, any props that you'd like before you rest back. And then for your forward fold, nice strong straight legs, toes flexed, arms rise. And forward fold, nice honest one there, so no need to overreach for your toes. Just land where you arrive. Give yourself another breath to find a little bit more length and space in your body. front and back of the spine. And then fold a little deeper, just directing yourself toward rest now. And when you're ready to unwind, making your way into Shavasana, or come into a comfortable cross-legged seat if that's the way you like to complete your practice. Make yourself comfortable. And shutting down the eyes. And this really is one of the most important parts of your practice, is to allow your body to slow down and decelerate, to switch on that rest and digest portion of your nervous system and really integrate all the benefits of your practice. And just lay nice and quietly still. Reconnect with your breath, letting go of all your effort. And simply follow my voice, follow your breath. Breathe in gently through the nose toward the crown of your head. Breathe out down toward your throat. Let your breath in through the throat toward the crown of your head. Empty your breath down toward your heart center. Breathe in here toward the top of your head. Empty your breath down toward your belly. Invite your breath in through the belly toward the top of your head. Empty your breath down toward your pelvis. Breathe in here, the length of your spine, torso, top of the head. Empty your breath long and deep down your legs to the edge of your toes. Whole body breath. Breathe in. Breathe out, let go and rest. And then gently, gently drifting your awareness back. Wriggling out toes, the hands, perhaps stretching the arms overhead. Give your whole body a big stretch and yawn. And bend the knees, feet to the floor, and gently rolling out to your right side, dragging yourself all the way back up to sit. And I hope you've enjoyed this morning flow. You feel awake and fresh as you step into your day. Have a great one. Thanks for joining. Namaste.